What's good? It's your boy CJ Goodfellow. We back with the Boxing Clinic. Good morning. Y'all know what it is. And apparently Dana White is trying to squeeze in and slide into the boxing world. And just this Steven Espinoza on Showtime. You know, I'll leave that article link in the description, what he said. And, it'll be interesting, man. You know, because he ain't working with Bob Arum. He ain't working with Steven Espinoza. He said he wouldn't work with Bob Arum. Apparently, you ain't messing with Showtime. You ain't working with Al Heyman. And those are the two biggest, boxing rosters in professional boxing. He's beefed out with Oscar De La Hoya. I don't know if he had a relationship with Eddie Hearns or Kathy Duval to go over to HBO. So obviously he sounds like he's going to use his network, his network connections with Fox and wherever else they have UFC on to do boxing. And my question is, what professional boxer that has a future is going to sign with Dana White? I understand that he runs the UFC well, but boxing doesn't run like the UFC. It's two different combat sports. And you just can't put on guys in the UFC and expect people, put guys in the boxing and expect people to come run and watch them. You can't just, do that. But maybe he wants to bring that UFC culture of the best fighting the best, but he got to find the best to even be promoted by him. Is he going to? I don't know who he going to get. I don't know his plan, but I'm pretty sure he's a calculated individual. He's a smart human being in the business world. So, I don't know. It should be interesting, but his possibilities are open. They are open because he has a network TV deal with Fox and the rest of them, Spike and whatever else he got. So, maybe he does a reality show for boxing once again and tries to find the next superstar type boxer. Maybe try to find some people and boxers that people can identify with, So it should be interesting. I'm pretty sure he has a plan. He met with people a couple months ago about boxing to get into the game. So if he's going to continue and take a step forward in the boxing game, I'm pretty sure this dude is calculated. He's smart. He sold the UFC and he's the only one who knows how to run it. So he got his big lump sum out the money. And then he's still making money off the UFC. So if it flutters and falls out and the bottom falls out, he's still a paid man. He's up under that contract. He doesn't own it. He just runs it. He manages it. And he's still getting money for managing it. He's still the face of it, so people still can identify with Dana White. So he's a self-made man. He's a smart businessman. So I definitely trust in him to make the right decision. But severing ties with Showtime and ESPN, so he must is going to put boxing, on Fox and whatever else, the regular TV network, FS1. So we'll see how it pans out. Just tells me that the bottom is falling out of the UFC. The popularity is leaving, especially with McGregor, being in a lose-lose situation. What I mean by that is having to fight tough competition for short money, as far as that Khabib guy, the Tony Ferguson guy, Nate Diaz. He has nowhere to go. He goes back to boxing, he gets smashed as well. So he says he got his whiskey, he's about to get his Diddy money. That's cool and all, but at one point you're gonna want to come back, you're gonna get the itch to come back, or you're gonna need the money. So it'll be interesting. So that's their biggest ticket puller. But the one thing that he is capitalized on is making female combat sport, or female sports in general, popular. And he's going to have the feminists behind him, or the women behind him. And that's great. That's great. That's a great That's a great marketing tool. And that just tells me that Dana White is a good businessman and good at marketing. He don't care if you're a woman, bear, black, white. If you a good fight and he gonna get the people to come see you, he gonna market it the right way. And boxing does need another innovator in it to kind of bring the new flavor of the UFC and what they do good into the sport of boxing. So it's not all of negative. I open Dana White trying to break into boxing, but with the powers that be, let him break into boxing. Is him and Conor McGregor really beefing with Showtime and Steven Espinoza, or is it a facade? So we'll see. And I think they probably going to start off with a boxing reality show and get some boxers. I don't know where they're going to get these boxers from, and start doing some regular fights. But remember, Al Heyman fighters are technical promotional free agents, and Dana White can get the money and the sponsorship to put them on top TV networks, and pay them properly. He would have no problem making those fights happen. So we'll see what Dana White can spice up in the boxing world. But I most definitely, like Bob Arum said and a few other people say, I think UFC is on a decline, and the pay-per-view numbers are going into the bottom. They bottoming, and I'm thinking he's trying to switch up the hustle to keep the UFC and keep his name popping. and let's see if he can do it. You know, I'm pretty sure, you know, they have projections, and maybe they couldn't foresee this dip in the UFC coming, but maybe they could have, and maybe they prepared for it. But we'll see. You know, most people in UFC will say, oh no, there's nothing wrong. We'll see. You know, you just all of a sudden want to get into the boxing game just to get into the boxing game for what? You know, if your sport in UFC was popping so hard, I mean, ride that out. You know, if it's here to stay and if it's not a blip and it's a trend, then you're going to ride that out and put all your energy into something that's going to be 100% successful. You're not going to have a contingency plan, a backup plan for a sport that's 100% successful. You're going to try to break ground in boxing when boxing was your biggest enemy. But now you're trying to ride the boxing wave because you know, and the numbers tell you, your business people tell you that boxing on the up and up, and the UFC is going downtown Bruno Brown, Lilo Brown. And that's what it really is. You know, he's trying to save his bacon. He's trying to save his company because he knows that their numbers are diving and boxing numbers are rising. And because boxing gets it now. Boxing, the UFC, one thing it's done, them and Dana White has done is make the best fights. In boxing, see, you got to make the best fights. The fans not going to pay for any little, you know, prissy fight. And Dana White going to try to bring that culture into, you know, boxing. And we're going to see if he's able to do it, man. But I do think it's time to panic for UFC. I don't think it's going into the shithole just yet, but it's trending that way. And I think Dana White is going to try to bring some different flavor to boxing. Will it work? I mean, that's another question in all itself. But you won't know until you try. We gone.